I'm really excited to be here. I just flew in from Seattle. Obviously work with Alex and all of you guys. So, obviously everybody's pulling effort and pulling weight to be here. So as Chase said, we appreciate your time. But, bottom line, if you're here today, if it's your first time being here, like he said, have an open mind. One of the big things that when I first started in this business, I didn't have an open mind. And it took me about 2 years of really kind of beating myself up and realizing that, man, I got to get this thing going, because it sucks to sit around for 2 years and not get any good results. So obviously, if you're new here today, and the big thing is somebody invited you. Somebody's excited today that's here that invited you that says, you know what, hey, this could be something that could work for you. And that's the coolest part about this business, is I don't really care what you did yesterday, last month, last week, or your background. The neat part about this is you can be you. And that's the cool part about the business. For when Alex and I first met, he was worried about, how we're going to do it and what are people going to say and how's this going to work. I said, man, let's just get excited and start talking to people. And I would say probably for 95% of the room here, by show of hand, if you guys were all making about $1,000 or $1,500 a month, how much better would your summer or your day, your week would be? I mean, everybody had a $1,500 a month in income. And that's what's crazy. When I first talked to Alex, I said, man, if I was going to give you about $1,200 to $1,500 a month to go talk to about 100 or 200 people, would you do it? Would you do it? I mean, if you're going to get about $1,200 a month for chilling, like residually, if you just go talk to about 100 or 200 people, would you do it? Yeah. And so that's what's so simple about this, guys. It's really just reaching out to people you know. And it was something that I didn't understand, like Alex, like many of you guys, but it was being at events, being on these kind of calls, and really seeing it, and really being around the people, like you said, who have an invested interest in you. For me, guys, it started about 6 years ago. So for many of you guys that are just, hearing about this, hopefully you can see it does take time and effort. And like Alex said, for the first year for me, I was just a product user. I had really little interest in the business side, and because I was busy working on other things, but I obviously knew people were making a lot of money. I knew it was happening, and yet I didn't take advantage of it. And like some of you guys here today, you might feel this is a great opportunity. The time is right. You might jump on board. And what's scary is you see Chase, you see Kaylee, you see all these different success stories of people here. A lot of people that are here that are making this work. And that's what's so exciting, as you said, it's working. It's already taking off. It's happening. And it's so simple. And so that's what, what I've always been so impressed with you guys is that, there is that support there. When I started, I didn't know the product. I didn't know the numbers. And that really wasn't my role. I started out, and really for me, I graduated high school in 04, so I'm maybe a little bit older than most of you. And my dream was college basketball, and that didn't happen. And when I got on the product, I saw a big difference in how I felt, my parents and people I knew, which, really that built my belief level about what this was doing, but I didn't really know if this could work for me. And if you're sitting today, many of you guys are sitting here today for the first time, where I was back at 19, 5, 6 years ago. And I think that's what is so exciting for me to see some of you guys here, because I know what's going to happen if you take that step forward. I know what this can do for you if you make that decision. And like I said, what would your summer be like if you were making $1,000 or $1,200 or $1,500 a month? For many of you guys here, and ladies, that would change your whole summer. You wouldn't have to have a job, you wouldn't have to show up, you'd enjoy it, and have a lot of time freedom. And that's what I'm saying this can do for you today. If you really, number one, obviously try the product, you hear kind of the whole big picture of what's going on, and you really see where we're going with this, it'd be crazy to not really take a deep look at it, to have an open mind. Because you guys, I look at people like my brother, who's 28, who doesn't do the business. My dad has 2 brothers, one's an attorney, one's a teacher in Washington. They don't do the business. And it's funny because most of my personal friends don't do the business as well. And so, you got to remember here, this is something that is going to take time and effort. I've, like Alex said, and maybe you heard, I've personally got about 117 people signed on to this. So that sounds like a lot to you guys, but that's really not even one a week. So meaning that over 4 or 5 years, I've been very consistent. and many of you guys are, 16, 15, 17, 19, or 20. What's the next 2 to 3 years? You guys commit to going to college for 4 years. You commit to playing a high school sport for 4 years. Many of you guys commit to a relationship. There's all the things that are a priority in your life. Yet it's funny how I look at a lot of my close friends and the people that I'm around, and what do they complain about all the time? Number one, it's their health. Or 2, it's money. And what we find with the product is, Beema from that standpoint, I was with a couple, husband and wife last night in Seattle, and the wife said, I have chronic fatigue, I have joint pain, and I have high cholesterol. What do you think my interest is to talk to her about? The product. Get her on Beema, get her to see some results with it. And yet, it's funny because I hear so many people talk about how they feel, yet they won't save themselves from hell. And that's what's funny is I think, you definitely got to give the product a chance. And number two, is that all my friends are talking about how they don't have any money, they're broke, they can't go to Vegas, they can't have fun and do all those things. And that's where I look at many situations for people. If you don't have money, you've got to do something to change that. Because just sitting where you are ain't going to change it. I mean, that's why, and I look at the stories of Kaylee, I look at a lot of the young people, there are a lot of young individuals, and it doesn't have to be, people in their 20s. There's people that I've been working on this for, one of the couples, Jim and CJ Brogan, was my shooting coach for basketball back in high school, and they just hit presidential, and they're the reason that Verb is with the Phoenix Suns. So, it definitely is neat to see, parents and other individuals here today, but I think that's what's so exciting about this, guys, is if you saw it from my shoes, you wouldn't have a doubt in the world this would work. And that's what I'm saying, today you have that opportunity, for me to see someone like Kaylee, who in about 3, maybe 4 months max, has built the Verb business to, I don't know, 600, 700, 800, up to around 1,000 a month. She's right in that range. They're basically where she's been able to replace what she was doing for work. And I mean, imagine if any of you guys who do have a job here, what if we could get you on track to get out of that job? What if we get you on track to get a new car? What if you get on track that by next school year, you're making the $2,000 or $4,000 a month? For many of you guys in high school, I've never heard of that. Mark, you ever seen that before?
No.
When I was in high school, kids weren't making $4,000 and $5,000 a month.
Paper route. I had a paper route.
Yeah, paper. And I see that in Chase, you guys. I see Chase, he's young, he's excited, he loves the product, he's coachable, and that's why he's had the success he has. And so that's why today, you guys, you got to definitely take a deep look at this. Talk to the person who invited you. Talk to the people that are involved, and really get a clear understanding. Because if you haven't heard the whole story, if you haven't seen what the product really is and what it's doing for people, and you don't really see the numbers, that's the biggest thing that I kind of chuckle and laugh about, the fact that people go, oh, I don't know if this is something I can do, put the time into it, and yet I see someone in 45 to 60 days go from 0 to goal, and they're making $600 to $700, $800 a month. And now to my parents, that's not a big deal, but to Katie, that is a big deal. Or for you, that would change your life. And so that's why I'm saying tonight, today, you guys definitely, we're on to something big. Just as an example, my young guy Luke, who's in San Diego, he's executive, 24, he's making around $4,000 or $5,000 a month. They added 16 kids yesterday at San Diego State. We were at Santa Cruz, one of the young guys named Jed, he's 24. Listen to this story. I met this kid at a meeting like this. He was sitting in the back, right where, near Brad's head, his arms crossed. He was so, skeptical and closed-minded. And after the meeting, he really said, what, I heard the story, I see the product works, I see it's a great product, and I know this could work if I apply myself. And we sat down similar to Alex. This was about 1.5 years ago. He's 24, just turned 24. He's never met his dad. He has a sister that's 18, lives in Hawaii. He's never met his sister. His mom lives in Alaska, works in a factory. He had three jobs. He worked at Best Buy, a bank, and mortgage company in Mira Mesa, San Diego, and he had $22,000 in student loans. That's a pretty big hole to get out of. And if that's not the hole you're in, imagine what this kid was prepared to go, against. And we got excited, similar to Alex, and in 10 months he hit executive, and this kid's making $4,000 or $5,000 a month. He's moved his mom from Alaska to San Diego, got a new 5 Series BMW. This whole kid's life changed. And unless you saw that every day, and you were with me every day, you would see, how big of an impact that made on him. And that can happen to you. It can happen to your friend that you brought today. It can happen to your parents. And that's what I'm saying to you guys tonight. Alex is talking about, 55% of people our age are unemployed. I read an interesting, statistic about 5 times more likely you're going to make over $100 grand in this kind of business and doing this than working in a corporate job. So who would want to make $100 grand at some point in their life? Okay, you're 5 times more likely to do it with this kind of thing.
Crazy because of leverage. Leverage.
But the problem is, and again, I know a lot of new people here today, and you're just kind of checking this out. A lot of our priorities are out of line. Relationships are more important, sports, partying. Guys, I changed a lot personally. I quit drinking pretty much entirely, other than a little bit of wine in November. Because I saw that if I would make my priorities a little bit different, if I would put a little bit more, focus on where I would be in 12 months, if I would, focus on certain areas, guys, and I'm seeing a big difference, and I'm excited about that. So, you guys, tonight you definitely get with the person who invited you, talk with us after, try the product, spend a little time on the website, and see if it's a fit for you. Are you thinking right now, man, I got 20 friends in Chandler, I got friends in Mesa, I got friends in Scottsdale, I got friends. Let's look at how this all happened. Alex got Josh Noblon, who you heard from. Josh got his brother, who got a kid on it in Oregon, who got a kid in Humboldt, or no, a kid in Austin in Colorado, to a kid in Humboldt. So when I was in Hawaii in Maui in November, this kid Facebooked me and said, I'm with your guys' group, Alex and Josh. Hey, I'm here. I've got 4 or 5 guys on board already. Could we do some meetings? We signed up 5 or 10. Yes, this kid I met with in Hawaii, his name's Kanoa, then ended up getting his friend out of Jessica, who lives near my house, who this girl's been doing meetings in my house all the time. And what's funny is her boyfriend was just with me at Gonzaga in Washington doing meetings. So look at the chain of that, from Alex to Josh to his brother. That's what we're talking about happening to you. And that's what's so cool about it, is you're going to meet a lot of people from all around the world. You're going to get a chance to, really set your own type of an income or lifestyle if you choose to, and you're going to be able to bring a lot of your friends and people along with you. And that's what's so special to me, guys. The money's great. You can make a lot of money in this, and nice homes and cars and all those things. But when you got time freedom on your side, when you have the ability to just pack up and go here, or go there, or go home, and help the people that you want to help, you guys, that's something that you'll start to cherish when you start to really get to taste that. And I think this will allow you to do. Again, to get you out of your job by summer, to be able to get you to start saving to buy a place. Many of you guys agree that we're in the worst economic time ever. Real estate's at an all-time low. All of us should be thinking about buying real estate right now. I mean, maybe take a little mature step forward and say, wow, what if in 2 years I could buy my own condo or home? And that sounds crazy to some of you guys, but this kid's going to do it. Chase is going to do it. And that's what's so cool about the business, you guys, is we have fun, we party, we make it a good time, but we get it done. And when we got to get it done, we get serious, we get